Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions, and we're back with the second half of 2001 A Space Odyssey. I said a bunch at the end of the last part, and I'm just going to say this in the beginning, and then we're going to jump in and we're going to finish it. I already said my best guess. I said a couple options, and then I said my best guess. But I just got to point out, I didn't think the movie would be so deep and have so much going on. I was so confused in the beginning when we see the dawn of man and all that's going on, and then we go like way into the future, obviously, and then we have Dr. Floyd, and then it's like 18 months, and then we're on a ship. I'm thinking, holy crap, what is going on? But it actually all makes sense right now. They did it all right. I've seen movies back in the day where it was like, all right, it's a phenomenal movie, it was a masterpiece, but what do you expect? It was the 60s. That's what I was hoping wasn't the case, and I obviously didn't think it was going to be like that, but I just am surprised that all of it actually is all together making sense in some way. I even started thinking in the beginning, maybe it was just being artsy, like, here's the dawn of man, and then this is what happened, and then this happened, and none of it was going to have any relevance specifically. But then as soon as we saw that thing magically appear, I'm thinking they better not just drop that, because that was odd and weird. And why would that be a thing? They played the drum music and it was like, dun, dun, and they're like showing the apes are like rubbing it and stuff. I mean, that was primitive man. I keep calling them like apes, but I don't know what else to call them. So we'll call them that. I'm just happy to see that it all is making sense. The fact that so many people consider this one of the greatest of all time. I mean, I can't assume that everyone's crazy. I got to assume that it all going to mean something in the end. Let it all play out and see what's up, and we're jumping in. You guys want to be way ahead, full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons ahead of what you're seeing, and hundreds of exclusives you'll only see on Patreon. This is up in full, 3 hours with the intros and exits I did. So go check it out. If not, here we go. Second half, 2001, A Space Odyssey.
How would you account for this discrepancy between you and the Twin 9000?
The Twin
I don't
9000.
think there is any question about it. This sort of thing has cropped up before, and it has always been due to human error.
What?
Quite honestly, I wouldn't worry myself about that.
But someone's wrong then, if one of you says yes and one says no.
I'm having a bit of trouble with my transmitter and C-pod. I wonder if you'd come down and take a look at it with me. Sure.
I'm pretty sure Hal could read your vibrations and stuff. Hal is a built-in lie detector test. Hal could probably listen everywhere on that ship. I think he's going to go in there and go like, Hal's going to kill us.
Rotate the pod, please, Hal.
Hal is tricking.
Please, Hal. I've got a bad feeling about him.
You do?
Yeah, definitely.
Still, it was his idea to carry out the fairy moon analysis, wasn't it? If he were wrong, it'd be the surest way of proving it.
It would be if he knew he was wrong.
I would put it in. I would put the thing in and see if it fails. Then you'd have to tell him, you're wrong, Hal. He said 72 hours, guaranteed 100%.
Well, let's get on with it.
Why would you let him see you? What if he reads lips? As crazy as that sounds, I don't care. Horrible idea, letting Hal... Yeah, that's what I said. Oh my God. Why would you let him face you? So they would have been fine if they just turned the pod. I'm thinking it didn't matter. Oh, there's the intermission. I wish I knew there was an intermission. I feel like that's a late intermission, though. There's probably only about 50 minutes of actual show left. Are we gonna have like a 30-minute opening again? Man, they really stretch it, huh? It's awesome. I love that kind of stuff. Practical effects. I will take practical effects over CGI any day. If it fails, I kind of almost want it to fail. Then Hal could be like, see, I told you guys, I got your back. I believe it might not be his fault. I believe maybe he thinks it's impossible for me to be wrong. Like he literally can't believe it. It's like not in his programming to believe such things. Hal even said that we... Well, that was creepy as hell. What is that? Oh, the rock! Was that... Did the rock hit him? Like, remember we saw those rocks before? This dude is gone.
Do you know what happened?
I would not get into a
I
pod.
don't have enough information.
I know there's a dude out there that might be alive, but I would not get into anything. All right, he's I mean, unless they're totally misdirecting, Hal is definitely not good. Why did they show those two rocks, the two meteors or whatever? Why did they show them before? Everything has to mean something. Why would they just randomly show that? I don't even know if Dave could get out there to save him, even if he is still alive. What actually happened? He got like thrown or blast went off and he got, I don't know, like what happened? It didn't show. Either he was thrown or blasted off. Watch, he's still alive and he's like, Hal shot me in the ass. It is possible he's alive, but I mean, I started actually doubting if we were even going to get to him. I mean, it still seems like he is flying out there, man. It's not like he's flailing around or doing anything. This dude is probably dead. Unless he got knocked unconscious. I mean, with the way he was twirling around, it's possible he's just unconscious. I would love to see him move. I mean, is he moving or is that just like... He's like, where are my friends? Oh God, that's right. These dudes, I like totally forgot these dudes are still here. Watch Hal wakes them up. If he turns them off... No way. He's flatlining all the doctors. He just killed them all in their sleeps. Why though? Like why? Life function's critical. He's killing all the doctors. There's nothing they can even do. He's literally just shutting them down. Oh my God. I was thinking like maybe there's going to be something. Oh my God, what is he going to do now? How do you explain that? And now he won't open the doors.
Hello, Hal, do you read me?
That's dark, man. I didn't expect that. I didn't think he was just going to flat out kill them all. He's going to tell them Dave went nuts. Don't let him in. That's some dark shit.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
Where the hell did you get that idea, Hal?
I read your lips.
Although you took very thorough precautions in the pod, I could see your lips move.
I can't believe they would have been fine. In my mind, it didn't matter. I'm thinking he could hear them regardless. You see that glowing light looking directly in your... I thought of it. And I'm drinking beers and I ain't no...
Without your space helmet, Dave, we're going to find that rather difficult.
If I die, you failed your mission. It's like something like that. Is this dude even still alive? Like, is he just carrying his body? I'm assuming this dude's dead at this point. Is he gonna ram it? If you're gonna ram it, I'd at least pull the arms in. Is he gonna throw the guy at it? I think he should have at least attempted to get the helmet off that dude. I mean, I don't know how. Like, as soon as he opens the hatch, he's not gonna be able to breathe. It's gonna totally just cut off his friggin' air and everything. He's saying there's an emergency hatch. Is there a way he could seal it off and connect in some way? I don't think you would. What if it was an emergency? What's the good? I mean, I guess they'd say you should have your helmet. I mean, that was kind of stupid. I know he was in a rush, but how much longer would it have taken to just throw your helmet in? What if you had to, like, open the hatch and grab the dude or something? I feel like he's just going to be like, I'm going to hold my breath and just open that hatch and jump through that hole. I think he's just going to literally open and jump. Is he going to blow himself? Oh my God, is he going to blow himself into the ship? No way. I don't know if that would have worked, but it's interesting and I like it. I would imagine Hal could shut all these doors and just keep him trapped in one room.
I really think I'm entitled to an answer to that question.
God, he's so creepy. What went wrong with Hal, man?
I feel much better now. I can see you're really upset about this.
I just don't know why.
I know I've made some very poor decisions.
And it obviously has something to do with the thing they dug up on the moon.
But I can give you my complete assurance.
How did he know exactly what to do? I guess he was trained in it.
Stop.
He went all the way to this one specific grate.
I can feel it.
Does he have to do every one of those or just the memory terminals?
My mind is going. I can feel it. I'm afraid. I am a HAL 9000 computer on the 12th of January.
1992. That's the first year, I believe I've heard.
My instructor was Mr. Langley.
Langley, like...
And he taught me to sing a song. Daisy.
Daisy. How does your garden grow? I feel like that would never be the case. Like, as he's unscrewing the memory banks...
Good day, gentlemen.
It's slowing down. That was Dr. Floyd.
Pre-recorded briefing. Made prior to your departure. Only by your HAL 9000 computer. 18 months ago, the first evidence of intelligent life off the Earth was discovered. Very powerful. Radio emission. Aimed at Jupiter, 4 million year old black monolith has remained completely inert. Its origin and purpose, still a total mystery.
No, don't stop there, please. Jupiter and beyond the infinite? Monolith. I kept saying an obelisk or something like that. This is like real stuff now. I've seen documentaries on it, how these weird objects have been appearing all around the world. After he turned Hal off, Dr. Floyd's saying this is only known by your Hal unit. Is this something Hal has to do? The thing is right there. Is it aligning with all the planets? Is this like the end of the universe or something? Like, what is it? At ground zero for like the end of the universe or something? Like, what is happening? I don't know what is happening right now. I mean, it's freaking trippy as hell. I'm trying to see if we could see anything in the light. It keeps showing Dave like he's is he absorbing like knowledge or something? What is happening? This has been going on for like 5-10. This shit is trippy, man. Are we getting like sucked into a black hole or something? Where is Dave? Is like the galaxy reforming or something? Oh, there's Dave's eyes. Definitely not the ending I expected. This is like 15 minutes of trippy shit. The monolith originally was in like an area like this. It's much calmer now. The colors are much more calming. I feel like through song and visualization, they just ended the universe and restarted it or something. They're zooming in now. Oh. He is shaking. He looks like he is quite disturbed. What? Are there actually going to be aliens? Or are we going to meet like Dr. Floyd or something? Like, where is he? How did he even get here? What just happened? He looks like he's having a breakdown. Who's this? Is that him? Wait. He just looked at himself in the pod and he was old, and now he's himself old and the pod is gone. The pod was in that corner. Something aged him rapidly. I mean, he looks like he's twice as old as he was, maybe older. Is he going to meet someone and they're going to explain everything? He's like a chosen one. I hear utensils. I would be so curious and I'd be starving at this point. Is that him too? It's him too, isn't it? And he's looking, and now that guy's going to be gone. So he's just been here? That's so creepy and awesome at the same time. I've got to assume it's not actually happening like that. He is seeing, I don't know, is it really happening like that? Because the way they're doing it, he's looking like, oh my God, who is that man? Because then here it looks like he lived a life. Like he doesn't look concerned right here. He's got to be like 89 years old. I mean, he looks healthy though. And he's got food, actual food. He's got a glass of wine. Is he going to be in bed dying now or something? Now he's dying? Like, ooh. And always the breathing. We could always hear his breathing. It almost makes sense now why early on I kept saying, why do I hear his breathing? It was very strong. I was going to say, it looks like the top is glowing, but I think it's just getting brighter. Made him reborn? I feel like that could possibly be the end. Oh my God, it's the baby? I was saying that earlier. Is he supposed to be like the chosen one? I've definitely seen that image staring right at me. All right, guys, so there you go. There's 2001 A Space Odyssey. I feel like we watched 3 different movies all in one. They all come together in the end, except the very end. Holy crap. I don't know what is exactly happening, and I don't know if anyone necessarily does. I knew it was going to be weird because Stanley Kubrick. I knew it was going to be slightly odd, but I was kind of along all the way till the last 20 minutes, I'd say. I've got to go back and look, but I felt like we were traveling through that crazy Spaceballs looking, when they go warp speed and they go to plaid and they start going through all those colors. It was that, and I'm assuming that was a reference to 2001 Space Odyssey, because I've never seen anything quite like that except in Spaceballs. The slow-mo of the ship going by, that's done in Spaceballs too, also is done in Star Wars, but I feel like these guys might have been the first to do that. I thought from the very beginning it's going to probably be something wrong with AI, but it wasn't. Like, here's where I don't know if I got it right, because I was following along till the end and I'm thinking, all right, whatever that thing was in the very beginning that popped up in the Dawn of Man, pops up on the moon, they dug it up, And then we go on this mission 18 months later. So I'm thinking, what does that thing have to do with it? But the confusing thing to me was it was on Earth first, then it's on the moon. And how did it move? How did it do it? But now they show it just goes wherever it wants. It literally is just floating around, goes wherever it wants instantly. No explanation. That explains that. Even though there's no explanation, that explains that. It could do whatever it wants. So right there, I'm like, okay, it's the same thing. It obviously has some sort of purpose. Then I'm saying, is Hal betraying us, or does he know something we don't know? He could just be rogue, like, I am never wrong. How dare you? Human error. You guys are wrong. But then I'm thinking, maybe Hal isn't wrong. Maybe Hal is doing what he thinks is right because he knows something we don't. I don't know. So he's saying, pop the thing back in 72 hours. We'll find out if something's wrong. I'm thinking it's because he knows in 72 hours the mission at hand will be fulfilled, aka what they're doing, like everything that happened had to be done. That was the mission, because once he shuts down Hal because he didn't trust Hal, and Hal appeared to be screwing them all up and trying to kill them from what it looked like, and actually killing that guy. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong right now. I still could be wrong because they threw so much at us in the last 20 minutes. A lot of it looks like it's left up to interpretation a little bit. I don't know. I'm going to go watch theory videos and stuff like that after we talk, but I don't know, because this is my understanding that Hal did what he did because he had to for the mission. TV turns on, Dr. Floyd's there, and he's like, you don't understand. Only your Hal unit knew this. That's why it looked like there was a conflict between the HAL 9000s, because only this Hal knew what was really going on. So how could the one down on the Earth or wherever the hell the other Hal was, how the heck could that one know if it doesn't have the right information? It only had the information it could use. So that's why. And it misdirected everyone else. But then what exactly happened with Frank? What exactly happened with Frank? Because Frank went flying out into the middle of nowhere and died. It looked like Hal had zoomed in like boom, 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 and it zoomed in on him, leading me to believe that Hal killed him. Like maybe everything had to unravel the way it did in order for us to get Dave to do what he did, because Dave needed to not trust Hal in order to shut Hal down, and that's how Dr. Floyd said what he said. But then this is where it goes off the rails to the extreme. Dave goes in a pod. We hear Dr. Floyd say that this monolith, intelligent life form 4 million years ago, we found it on the moon. We know that it's traveling all over the place. And now he says it shot out to Jupiter or something like that. So that's why we're on this mission to Jupiter. We're going to find where it is and why it's there. And Dave goes and finally finds it. He gets this pod. He goes outside the pod, and I don't think he even made contact with it. He was in the vicinity of the monolith, and then we just start rocketing through these colorful things, and then it looked like what I am assuming at this point, and I started thinking it as it was happening, but I'm like, let me just absorb this all. It looked like the destruction of the universe, the rebirth of the universe, and then the rebuilding of the entire world. We saw like canyons and mountains and this and that, and it looked like things got from violent and loud and chaotic with reds and blacks and dark colors and stuff like that to very tranquil, nice music, baby blues and greens and stuff like that, like ocean and earth and land, building continents. I don't know how much of this I'm making up in my own head, but it seemed like that's what was happening. It seemed like through music and color and visuals, it was interpreting all this without any talking. I feel like this had the least amount of talking in a movie that's 2.5 hours that I've ever seen, and probably statistically does. Then in the end, Dave keeps blinking his eye. We keep seeing Dave blink, 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 and then he appears in a room. He appears in a room in a pod. So now at this point, I'm to interpret it as Dave is just not actually seeing himself doing these things. His future self that he's seeing is looking back on like, hey, remember when I landed and the pod was there? And then when that guy walks a little further and sees the one eating, the one that's eating turns around like, hey, remember when I first walked in this room and I looked at that chair and now I'm eating in it 20 years later? And then the one in the chair sees the one in the bed dying, and the one dying thinks like, hey, here it is. I'm dying. It's my last day. And then the monolith reappears. And then in a blink of an eye, he becomes a baby, and then the baby floats back down to Earth. And it is a baby Dave, and they play that epic dung, 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 which is also in Spaceballs music. And he's just a baby floating over the earth, seeing the earth, like everything's gone full circle. And the monolith is responsible for all of it. And it's alien technology, superior race, I don't know, like whatever it is. Crazy movie. So many different things that built to other things. And then in the end, it's like all kind of left up to your interpretation. I could imagine so many people. I myself am lost. I don't know if there is an actual answer right now. I have to watch it again, really investigate everything, but I'm sure there's some kind of answer from Stanley Kubrick as to what it's all supposed to mean. Sometimes directors will literally go, I don't know, I'm not going to tell you. You tell yourself what you feel or something like that. I don't know. But it's a crazy good movie. I mean, it was obviously one of the first, if not the first, to do things like this. I don't remember half the movies that I'm thinking of that are similar or reference this, because it had to be referencing this when it did things similar. And that is probably why it's so highly praised. It is definitely a fantastic movie. I definitely got to rewatch it again. Obviously, I'm not going to just all of a sudden be like, greatest movie ever. And honestly, it's one of those deep sci-fi movies where I feel like a second or third watch through will make me like it and appreciate it more. And I already really appreciate it. It's interesting. It's all practical effects, models, miniatures. Everything is done great. The way I like my science fiction. I like old science fiction because it's mostly practicals. They didn't have the option of computer generated. I hate how much that's used nowadays. Great movie. Amazing. Not what I thought it was going to be at all. So little talking. So much music. And lots of visuals were used to convey what's going on. But I feel like it was done very well. I also feel like there were things randomly that didn't make sense, but I feel like it had to be done for the story to continue. And then again, now that I see that Hal was on a mission and fulfilling that mission, it does actually make sense now. I was going to say things like Hal should have been able to not let Dave open the doors to get to the pod to go out to begin with. But maybe Hal let him get there and let him get that far because that was all part of it. I don't know. The whole thing is crazy. I've got to think more about it. I don't want to talk too much, so we'll talk more in the comments. You guys want to be way ahead, full on edited episodes of this and other shows I do. Patreon link in front of me if you're seeing it on YouTube. Seasons ahead on most of the shows. Hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon. This is in full 3 hours. Go check it out. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.